trail magic from yesterday. Anyways, we just started hiking out of the Deep Creek Hot Springs. We had so much fun there. It was really relaxing. A lot of naked people. Everything was cool. Some old dude kind of showed up with a tripod and had camera on it and got a little weird, but otherwise, very, very happy we stopped. So I think the goal today is to finish going somewhere between 10, 12 more miles. We're gonna find camp tonight and probably get into the snow tomorrow. First snake of the trail, guys. Slithered its way back in the bush. Well, that was cool. I just saw the first snake of the trip for me so far. I don't think it was a little baby rattlesnake. I think it might have just been a gopher snake, so non-venomous, but still pretty cool. When we were at the hot springs, we got some really cool trail magic done by Pumpkin. He hiked with the class of 2016, so really appreciated it. He had beers, apples, oranges, and trash, so he took everyone's trash out for him, which was, if you hike, you know. We actually just had a pretty good little river crossing, and I charged through it without even thinking, and I didn't record it, neither did Billy, so you guys will just have to imagine it. So this is gonna be sketchy. We gotta climb down the hillside and back over to the trails, so yeah. Woo!
It's a close one.
Huh.
This section was super overgrown. I could have used a machete to get through here.
My mother gave it to me before she died. It was her lucky machete.
Hey, my guy. As we've been climbing up this hill, the landscape is starting to change drastically. Shortly before we left the hot springs there, Billy gave me an iced coffee, and it was good. I'm probably the most motivated this afternoon that I've been in a while, so I'm excited. We got probably 7 more miles at the goals today, but if we see somewhere really cool along the way, we'll probably pull over and set up camp for tonight.
The Pacific Crest Trail follows Deep Creek for about 16 miles through the canyon. It has stunning views, and the Deep Creek Canyon here is actually going to divide the San Bernardino Mountains and the Ord Mountains, which are the highest mountains in the Mojave. So far, some of the best views have been on this section. The majority of the water running down Deep Creek is actually from snowmelt, and by August, it usually dries up significantly. We actually hit our 300 miles the day before, but it was still cool to see the sign.
We're just a couple miles before Bench Camp, heading southbound. And so far, this down tree is the worst, so we're trying to figure out if we should be going down below it or above. But there's like 3 or 4 trees here that all came down over the trail. This will take a while to clear.
And wouldn't you know it, get a few more blowdowns.
So the night's coming on pretty quick now. We're about 2 to 3 miles out of camp. We're gonna be getting there in the dark, so gonna try and be nice as quiet as we can. It's looking like we'll probably get there about 8 p.m., so just shortly after sunset. We had a really nice day. Lots of blowdowns coming out of that hot spring, specifically right around mile 300. There was a couple big ones and a couple more minor ones, so Take your time. They were all get aroundable, but definitely slowed you down a bit. Good morning, happy hikers. So Billy and I spent the night last night just a couple miles before bench camp. It was about 8 o'clock and we found a really nice flat spot. No ants, so I spent the night cowboy camping and it was a good morning. We woke up a little bit early, had some coffee, relaxed, stretched out for a while before we got started, and kind of repacked our bags. I think we have 3 pretty good stream crossings today, so just wanted to make sure everything was inside those compactor bags. But it's been a beautiful morning, not a cloud in the sky.
One of the coolest features on my Osprey backpack is these side pockets. I can pull the water bottle out, scoop water up out of a stream, and then I can even filter the water while I'm walking slowly. So I don't have to stop very long to refill water, which is awesome.
All right, guys, here's the deep one.
The first of 3. I think this is California incense cedar, but I'm not really a tree guy. One.
Excuse me, sir, you have to check in. Not now, Chief. I'm in the zone.
The second river crossing went just as well as the first.
And what sucks is you have to walk up the stream in this current, which is super hard. I'm literally shivering, guys. Pins and needles. That water was so cold. Just take a look at tomorrow's adventure. We're just starting to see a few patches of snow near the trail, but nothing on it yet.
We got to Little Bear Springs Camp and they have a toilet.
Anyone know what this solar panel's charging? It only has wires that go directly into that.
We shared the camp that night with about 15 to 20 other hikers, a mix of nobos and sobos. Billy and I ended up cowboy camping for the night, which turned out to be a mistake. We woke up with everything frozen and a layer of frost over all of our gear.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Max. Happy birthday to you.
Birthdays on trail are always special and everyone tries to help out. I celebrated my birthday and I've helped celebrate others. It's super fun.
Yeah, right? From the camp we had last night, I think it's Little Bear Springs. The snow's been pretty patchy and it gets sustained in a few spots. Man, this snow's definitely some work this morning. But I think we timed it right. It's just starting to soften up a little on us. Whew. Man, that was a climb. Some no-bowers gave us the wrong directions. They told us to go up where the PCT sign was, and we should have walked down the road. That's where the actual boot track was. So we ended up climbing up the wrong canyon. Well, I mean, it was right in the sense that's where the trail ran, but wrong in the sense that nobody else had hiked through it yet. So. We just got our first view of Big Bear Lake.
Guys, we just found a family of deer. We experienced snow from about a mile after Little Bear Springs until about Caribou Camp. And by the time this posts, you're probably not even going to have half of that.
Holes are about this deep right now, guys. That snow, guys, that was a lot of work. I kept post holing up to my waist until I couldn't go post down any further, basically. And man, it's a lot of work, But we made it through. We have about a mile, like I said, to camp, and we're gonna do a hot meal as soon as we get there, and then I'll probably have one more meal right before bed. We're gonna wake up early. We already booked our rooms at the hostel in Big Bear. So we got 2 nights there, and then the third night, hopefully I'll be with my family. And so I definitely started the trail, this section of it, with a little bit too much food in my pack, but I'm really happy I did. I was able to slow down and take an extra day or two on this section than what I had anticipated, and it was really enjoyable. So, you know, I'm in no rush to get up and get to any more snow. So after we hit Big Bear tomorrow, we're gonna take a 00, explore the town a little bit, and really just try to enjoy this. This is supposed to be fun after all. But no good down tree go alone. Here's its friend right next to it. This one looks easier to get around. Alley-oop!
This is the last section with these shoes. I'm getting a new pair in Big Bear. So the water bottles didn't freeze last night, but my shoes are rock frickin' hard, man. I'm happy I loosened the laces the night before.
Good morning, happy hikers. So Billy and I made it to Caribou Camp last night. So it was only about a 10, just under 11 mile day, but it was actually pretty difficult. We got a little bit later of a start because we woke up with all the frost on our stuff and had to let it dry out. So we hit the snow a little bit later in the day. And man, it was, you post hole till you couldn't post hole no more, you know what I mean? So it was definitely a lot of work. So we were both really tired and hungry when we made it to camp, and I ate double dinner last night actually. So we only have about 8 miles left until we get into Big Bear. Gonna go into town today. We're staying at the hostel for a couple days. Gonna grab some food. My aunt and uncle are coming out to meet us there. And yeah, don't get me wrong, guys, it got pretty cold last night. All right, we're in for a swashbuckling good time. Well, hello, Mr. Poodle Dog. It's been a while. This place is a dump. No, really, it really is a dump. So we're almost to Big Bear. We have about another 1.5 miles or so to go. And I'm really happy that we decided to skip the San Gabriels and start back up at the Cajon Pass. We're going around and we're filling in the gaps for everywhere that we've skipped so far. And from Big Bear to Paradise Valley Cafe, and then I'll jump back up and hit the San Gabriels.
We made it to the I-18 crossing into Big Bear. We met Diamond Dan, gave us a beer, and we made our way to the hostel. We got a ride into Big Bear with our buddy Pumpkin, who did trail magic at Deep Creek Hot Springs. On 420, we celebrated the normal way and went to the movies and saw Super Mario Brothers.
So I think this is probably the best Mexican food so far we've had on trail. They weren't kidding about the giant torta.
They have free transit to get around the city.
What's in there? Whoa! What? You're so big, you're almost in!
My wife and daughter even came up to visit for a day.
What do you have in there?
Arrow!
We even got ice cream at an actual Ben and Jerry's store.
Ice cream.
Is it good?
Uh-huh. It's so good.